All right, we're going to talk about solving equations and inequalities with absolute value. So if you remember the absolute value equals a, then that means x equals a, or x is going to equal negative a. So on this first one, it's pretty straightforward, right? The absolute value of x equals 5, so that means x has to equal negative 5 or positive 5. Now, if I'm solving this one here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first isolate my absolute value. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. I have the absolute value of x minus 3 equals 5. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split that absolute value option to the positive side. X minus 3 equals 5. And the negative side. X minus 3 equals negative 5. And I'm going to just solve these. Plus 3 here. X equals 8. Plus 3 here. X equals negative 2. There's my two answers, okay? Now, on inequalities, we have this idea that in inequalities, we're kind of on two different sides here. So if I have the absolute value of x is less than a, that actually breaks up into negative a is less than x, and x is less than a. If I have the absolute value is greater than a, then I would have x is less than negative a, or x is greater than a. So here's my solving. So once again, I'm going to split this up into two parts. So the first one, I'm just going to write it as is. Okay, I'm not going to change anything. In fact, all I'm going to really do is drop the absolute value symbol. And then the second one, I'm going to change this number to be negative, and I'm going to change the inequality. Now I'm going to solve these. So I'm going to subtract 2. 3x is less than 3, or x is less than 1. Here I'm going to add 2, minus 2, sorry. Minus 2. And now I have 3x is greater than negative 7, or x is greater than negative 7/3. When I graph this, here's 0, here's 1, here's negative 1, negative 2, and here is negative 7/3. Okay, so this is strictly greater than, so I'm going to put a parenthesis. This is strictly less than, I'm going to put a parenthesis at 1, and then it's everything in between there. Okay, the last one we're going to do is the absolute value of 5 minus 2x is greater than or equal to 1. So I'm going to break this up. 5 minus 2x is greater than 1, and 5 minus 2x is less than or equal to negative 1. Now I'm going to solve this. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Negative 2x is greater than or equal to negative 4. I'm going to divide by negative 2. Remember, when you divide by a negative number, the inequality is going to change directions. S is less than or equal to 2. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Subtract 5. Negative 2x is less than or equal to negative 6. Divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. X is greater than or equal to 3. So on our graph here, here's 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to put a bracket. I'm less than, bracket, I'm greater than. Okay, so that's solving absolute value equations and inequalities.